Well, if you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you know that I love Chico, California. I truly believe it is a wonderful place to live. In this video, I'm going to talk about the top 5 things that I love and the top 5 things that I hate about Chico, California. Okay, so let's start with the things that I love. Number 5 is the improvements that are being done to Chico, California. Okay, so right now we have a new water park and aquatic center that is going in Chico on the north side of town. It's going to be awesome. We have a new BMX and mountain biking track that's going in. That is super cool. We have Miriam Park, which is like a new downtown for Chico, a place to live and work and also play. There's food and beverage and all kinds of great events out there that is really awesome. We're having a new golf center put in called Beyond Golf, which is a place encouraging young people to get involved in golf with golf simulators and putting greens and all kinds of really cool stuff. And of course, there's all kinds of new roads and bike paths and bridges that are going in throughout the community. And so I think the city is doing a good job of improving the quality of civic life and community. These are the kinds of things you want to see going into a community that you're moving into, is a forward-thinking leadership that's saying, let's bring up some really cool amenities to have in our city. Okay, number 4, small town vibes. Man, you gotta love the small town vibes, running into people you know at the coffee shop, at restaurants, and those kinds of things. Chico is about 100,000 people, a little more than that right now, actually. So it's a big enough city where you have lots of restaurants and lots of things to do, but also small enough where you can have a community of people that you can get to know and run into at the grocery store and things like that. It's not a huge city, but it's not a small town where everybody knows everybody, and it's a really great kind of mid-sized city that you could really live in. I think it's really great. Okay, number 3 is the fall. The fall in Chico, in my opinion, is the best time. Why? Because we have all these beautiful trees. We have Bidwell Park. You drive down the Esplanade. That is a beautiful road. It is like a show in the fall. If you're going to visit here, visit in the fall. Go to Chico State. Walk around in the fall. See the fall colors. It is like you're living in a Hallmark movie, going downtown, going out to eat, and the leaves are falling and it's all orange and red and yellow and all that stuff. I think the fall is one of the coolest times of the year in Chico. It just really, the weather is so nice and it's just a beautiful, beautiful time in our city. Number 2, and this one is really important, the bikeability in Chico is super good. With the advent of e-bikes and e-scooters and those types of vehicles, it really makes Chico a small town. Now, Chico already had a significant bike infrastructure. We have Bidwell Park, but there's all kinds of other places where you could ride your bike. These are class 1 bike paths that go north and south, east and west throughout the city that cars don't drive on. And it is really amazing. I mean, my family got electric scooters. We have friends that have electric scooters, and sometimes we can get to where we're going faster than a car, depending on how fast your scooter is. It just makes it a really cool experience to be able to not have to get in your car, but just zip around on an e-bike or an e-scooter or just a regular bicycle. There really is an amazing highway for bikes and pedestrians all throughout the city of Chico. Okay, and number 1, you knew I was gonna say it, Bidwell Park, of course, one of the largest municipal parks in the entire United States of America. It is a huge city park within Chico. It's comprised of really Lower Park and Upper Park. There's a section called Bidwell Park that is really cool as well. But if you want to go swimming at 1 mile or 5 mile or jump off rocks at Barrel Hole and things like that, golf course if you like golf, if you want to ride horses, you can ride horses in Bidwell Park, right? If you just want to walk casually in the fall down to downtown Chico, it goes from the entire northeast side of Chico all the way down right into downtown. You can do that without crossing over any roads. There's an observatory where you could observe stars and things like that at night. It just really has something for everybody, whether you're into hiking, mountain biking, or just walking your dog. And Bidwell Park is just a wonderful place to explore, hang out in, meet people in, exercise in. It's just a really cool and unique thing that is only found in Chico, California. And I can go on and on about the great things about Chico with restaurants and Chico State University and all kinds of things that didn't make the list. But now, the moment you've been waiting for, everyone, I don't know why people always want to hear the bad things about the place, but here are my honest opinion of 5 things that I hate about Chico, California. Okay, number 5 is areas of East Avenue. Okay, if you watch this channel, you know I hate East Avenue. East Avenue is what happens when cities don't plan. There are certain parts of East Avenue where Highway 99 goes by. It's just there's a horse farm next to a sandwich shop, next to a school, next to a grocery store, next to a single family home, next to a what the heck. I'm not a fan of East Avenue. There's certain areas and pockets of Chico that can get congested. Now, generally speaking, Chico is great for traffic. It's one of the 5 things that I actually really like about Chico is you can get from one side to the other in 15 minutes or less. However, at certain times like rush hour, 8 a.m., 5 p.m., there are certain areas of the city that can get a little bit congested, and these are usually off of Highway 99, 32, or, you guessed it, East Avenue. Okay, number 4, it's far from the airport. Okay, right now, Chico does have an airport, and it can have commercial service, and it has in the past had commercial service from Chico to San Francisco daily. Right now, it does not have any commercial flights. And when you have a town that has its own small airport with minimal security that you can just drive up to or take an Uber to, it is so nice. But right now in Chico, we do not have it. So if you're flying regularly for work or for family or for whatever, once a month, once a week, or if you're flying on a regular schedule, even just 3 times a year, it can be kind of a pain. Now we have shuttles from Chico to the Sacramento airport, on a daily basis, which is cool, but it's just not the same as just, driving right up the road to your own local airport. Now, if you're independently wealthy and you own your own private jet, Chico's great. But for the rest of us folks, no commercial flights as of right now. And number 3 for the things I kind of hate about Chico is the heat, okay? The heat. Summertime in Chico, June, July, August, it can get hot, even parts of September, right? The fall is amazing. The spring is amazing. But unless you live in a coastal community in California, you're either going to have snow in the winter or you're going to have hot summers. That's just basically how life works. In Chico, we have hot summers. So it could get up to triple digits. If you live next to Bidwell Park is a microclimate. It is fully shaded. There's a creek you could put your feet in. It's quite nice. But if you don't live near Bidwell Park and you don't have a boat or whatever else, it can feel pretty hot in the summer in Chico. Number 2 on things I hate about Chico is the lack of new neighborhoods. Now, Chico is building tons of apartments. So if you're renting and you're coming up here short term, whatever, plenty of apartments to go around. But if you're looking for a cul-de-sac and a single family home with a 2-car garage, 3 beds, 2 baths, and a backyard, Chico does not have the political will at this point to build new neighborhoods. And so a couple years ago, we had an initiative called Valley's Edge, which is a beautiful master planned neighborhood with tons of single family homes, thousands of single family homes that would have been built over the next 10 years. That got shut down. And so when you don't create more of a thing, you make it really scarce and rare, they tend to become expensive. The housing prices in Chico have gone up consistently, and this is in part because we don't build new neighborhoods. We stopped building new neighborhoods. There's a few. And when you don't build houses for like Gen Z and millennials and these kinds of folks, you basically just run into a situation where there's a big housing shortage. And there's a shortage of houses. There's much more demand than there is supply, which makes the prices high. Compared to other major metros, Chico is still a value and it's still affordable. But when you compare it to what it used to be, say 10 years ago, it's not what it once was. And the number 1 thing that I hate about Chico, California is local politics. Okay, and I will say so much of a city revolves around local politics. Now, for instance, in California, we have issues with homelessness, substance abuse, police, crime. Whether you're a liberal city council or a conservative city council is going to be a completely different response to these issues. So, for instance, in 2020, when you take the issue of homelessness and substance abuse, we had the Northern Valley Harm Reduction Coalition. And so what that was handing out needles and hypodermic needles to create a clean and safe environment for people to do drugs on the streets and in public places and give them tents and allow them to camp in Bidwell Park. So then in 2022, we had an election and we flipped from a 5-2 liberal majority to a 5-2 conservative majority. And then all of a sudden, you can't camp in the park. We got rid of the hypodermic needles. We're gonna, make this for families and kids and old people, go walk around and feel safe. What a radical change and turn of events in terms of how the city handled something that's a major issue in almost all California towns. And I try to be politically neutral on these things and represent each side fairly, but there is a very big difference to the city of Chico, whether it's governed by a liberal council or whether it's governed by a conservative council. It's a very different way to handle the city, and so much of the city of Chico is affected by who is elected and who is in our city council. So those are my top 5 things. So let me know in the comments, what are your top 5? What do you think? What did I miss on the list? What do you love? What do you hate? We want to hear it. Let us know what you think about Chico, California. Thanks so much.